Okay, so you guys probably saw the previous video where I called the 800 plus point move. And now I'm going to take one attempt at a reversal trade here. Any second now. And I'm in. My stop's going to have to be below the low of day. I'm risking quite a bit. Even on 2 contracts, it's wild because of the range that we have, but I'm risking 300, about double what I usually risk. These are a different set of accounts. I've made way too much on the others, so let's see how this plays out. I'm going to give myself one shot at a counter trend after this has dropped, just close to, well, yeah, it has closed, it dropped 900 points from my entry short live with my team. And now I'm going to take one attempt at a counter here. I'm looking for a run to 500, which would be wild. We'll take out one contract if we get there and let the last one rip, and let's see where that can go. Now, as far as the chart-based targets that I have provided by the market, 5-minute time frame, let me take a look. 500 is the first, and then I'm going to go for 591, 591.5. Okay, so that's going to be my last target. If you're going to counter trend something like this, don't do it multiple times. Okay, so I'm giving myself a reward, if you will, a treat for being such an excellent trader for the entire session. London, New York, and if this one works, great. If not, that's also fine. I'm going to wrap it up and walk away for the day. A major winner. Major winner. So let's see, 24,500 first target. Second is 591. My stop is below low of day. We've run into 4-hour liquidity, which is sitting at 24,392. Let me double check that, just a moment. No, that's it. Sorry, 24,380. 24,380 is our liquidity level from the 4-hour time frame. If we can get back over that, this really could run. Otherwise, of course, this could continue to drop forever. Remember, guys, there is no such thing as too low, too high. This could continue to drop for the entire day, maybe even 500 more points. There's no such thing as too high or too low. Get rid of that notion. Remove it from your mind. It does not exist. It's an illusion. Okay, they want you to think that. So if you're going to counter trend, just be very well aware that it's incredibly risky and you don't want to overdo it. Okay, that's why people blow their accounts, because they overtrade counter trending trades. Might want to make a new low of day here, but I gotta wait it out. Took the trade, accept the risks. We just had another BC7 set up long. Adding 2 more here with a tight stop. I'll sell those 2 that I added right here to secure a bag. Okay, well that ad didn't work out. That's all right. So right now we're battling that 4-hour liquidity level that I was talking about before. Super important level, 382. If you're going to counter trend, you've got to wait for these ultimate levels to arrive. Otherwise, you're in big trouble, really big trouble. $450 would be a nice partial here. I'll sell 2 of the 3 that I added there at $450. If you're wondering, I feel nothing. I feel nothing right now. If it doesn't work out, I truly don't care. Okay, you've got to be accountable in trading. If you want to be a trader, you need to be accountable. You have to own your decisions and learn to live with them, regardless the result. Okay, if something doesn't work out, you don't get upset. If something does work out, you don't get happy. You just take the setups and you move forward. Rinse, repeat. You know, if you can't handle the outcome, the potential outcome of a trade, you should not be taking it. You should not be taking it. This is a special kind of day, and this is a special kind of opportunity. And so I'm looking to take advantage of it. And if it doesn't work out, well, so be it. That's okay. It wasn't in the cards. If it does work out, well, fantastic. That's nice. It's not cause for celebration. You're just doing your job. Do I feel any kind of dopamine rush right now, seeing a little bit of green? Absolutely not, because I'm aware that at any moment this can turn right around and stop me out. Okay, it's not worth having these roller coasters of emotions. Don't even watch the chart. Once you're in a trade, set your target, set your stop. No reason to watch it. Okay, if you get too excited or you get too happy, then you're going to feel equally as upset, right, and distraught when a trade doesn't work. And we don't want to have emotions, neither positive, neither negative. You need to be stable, stoic. That is the only way this will ever work. So if you find yourself partying because you had a green trade, well, you're in trouble. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually you're in trouble. Because that's going to catch up. No expectations, no desires, because those are the result, those result in suffering. And we certainly cannot lead a life of suffering for 1 decade, 2 decades, while you make this your career, right? We need to be very stable. No expectations, no desires. Yes, it's close to my target, but it could turn around again right now. What I will do, though, is raise my 3 contract stop here, though. Okay, so I'll risk 100 on that play. Okay, so this whole project of looking for $600, $700 gain, it's costing me close to nothing now if I get stopped out. If I get stopped out here in the last 3 contracts, I'll be down $30. So I'm risking being down $30 to be up over 500 soon, potentially, and maybe even 800. All right, so I think that's a good deal. I'll take it. See how it plays out. I don't know if you guys can hear, but that's my dog in the background. She's crying. She's not so sure about this trade. It's okay, Layla. It's going to be all right. We do this every day. If it starts to turn on me last second here, I will close it manually, the 2. Yeah, okay. So locking in a pretty fat bag there. One contract running, and what happens at this point. Looking for that 590 level next. Those of you who are on the live team that work with me, you know the song about the open of the red, right? So I'm opening, I'm looking for the open of the red here for the pivot high in a 5-minute time frame that is just before, you know, prices, they like to get there. Yeah, the price likes to get there, it acts as a magnet very often. The reason that, you know, I'm selling the 2 here of the 3 is we've just run into 5-minute buy side liquidity, and that could send the price lower again down to the low 300s just to continue consolidating a bit. So to be safe, because you never know if we're going to truly successfully break through these buy side levels, paying myself something there. Now if it does push through 500, then I do expect 598 to arrive, right? And so since the price that I expect is 598, I'll be happy to walk away with 590. Okay, I don't mind being a few points off of a level, a precise level that I'm looking for, right? So that's what I'm going to hold for. Pretty solid trade, to be honest. I waited a long time to start hitting this long, guys. You got to consider this dropped 900 points from my short trade that I provided everybody today with. So I was definitely patient here, and looking at the 4-hour time frame, you know, it was undeniable once I saw that momentum that I should probably wait for that 380 to arrive and then start to look for some kind of reversal. Again, to look for counter trend trades, you need to wait for something significant. There has to be a serious reason for something to stop doing what it's doing, for the market to stop the direction it's going in. Because typically when a market's in direction, it's on its way somewhere. Okay, we've talked about it many times. The market's on a way to some destination. The market has some unfulfilled desire. Okay, and those unfulfilled desires can be buy side or sell side liquidities on high time frames. You want to focus on high time frames because otherwise you're dealing with 5-10 times more levels. And which one is it, right? So to clear up your chart, you want to go to the high time frames. Look at the 4-hour, 60-minute. 4-hour, to be honest, is the best. It's cream of the crop. That is the best Godzilla, Mammoth, King Kong points. So you want to watch for those to come. And that was at 24,380. So hard as it was to sit on my hands, I had to wait for that level to come. It arrived, and then you can start to look for a shift. All the people who tried to buy earlier today have been destroyed. They've lost their accounts. They've broken their psychology. They have to start from scratch again. Why? Because they don't really know what they're looking for. All they see is a bunch of candles that are moving down a lot, quote unquote, a lot, and that's enough to trigger a trade. That's enough to get them on the buying side. But once you know what to look for, you become a little more selective, a little pickier with your selection of trades, right? And you wait. Of course, even if you know where these levels are, it's hard to wait, but that's something that you've got to deal with. You have to push through that and work through it and really learn to sit on your hands and wait for these levels, because more times than not, 9 out of 10 times they come. So to me, it's senseless to jump into a trade before the market arrives to its destination. Let the market get where it needs to go. And then and only then, you can start to entertain the notion of a shift. The market won't start bouncing just because it's dropped, quote unquote, too much. There's no such thing as that. It doesn't exist. It's a figment of all the traders' imaginations. It doesn't exist. What an epic day. running into the 15-minute 7 EMA here any second. That's definitely cause for reversal. You know, I think I'm going to lock it in here. Not as a matter of fear, but as a matter of understanding that this could definitely start reversing here if it doesn't spike any second now. I'm going to give it a moment, but then I'm going to wrap it up because this is a lot of money and I'm very satisfied with this trade. It's good to be reasonably grateful. So I'm going to start trailing it candle by candle at this point. Remarkable. Remarkable. It's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be a trader with knowledge. Not just any trader, because trading can be painful. But it's an amazing time to be a trader with knowledge. Well, that's for damn sure. All right, so it looks like I'm out on the rest here. Whew, what a trade. What a day. Wrapping it up. Fantastic. I'm going home.